Only 16 teams remain in March's great tournament, and as we mentally prepare for the last 15 games of the season and fill out our second chance brackets, I think it's time to take a look ahead at the juggernauts that are about to clash before us. Yes, there were virtually no major upsets so far this year, and this is likely due to NIL and transfer pools widening the gap between bigger and smaller schools, but that just means these next 4 rounds are going to be absolutely jam-packed with great matchups and great basketball. So let me break down for you my top 5 players so far this tournament, as well as provide my full predictions for what to expect for every single team, in which I've gotten 14 of these 16 teams correct, so just saying, maybe you should trust me. Before we get into things though, I want to ask you all to subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 10K, and your support recently has been insane, so let's keep it going. Oh, and one last thing, shout out to Max C, Jack Land, and Cooper Allen, as you 3 are currently the top 3 in my bracket challenge right now, so I hope whatever you choose to say with your prize of 10 unfiltered seconds in a video doesn't get my channel taken down, okay? Alright, with all of you subscribed and the begging out of the way, let's break down everything you need to know before the Sweet 16 kicks off, starting with the top 5 players. Number 5 is Houston's LJ Cryer. Here are his stats, and it's clear he found his footing in Game 2 with 30 points. Houston has always prided on their defense and bashed for their lackluster offensive skills, but with LJ Cryer stepping up on the 3-point percentage department and starting to take the load off offensively, they are a scary team to face halfway through this tournament, and he's definitely one of the scariest players. Number 4 is JT Toppin, and him and the Texas Tech Red Raiders have been absolutely dominating the tournament. They've had 4 guys drop 20 plus points in just 2 games thus far, and it isn't ridiculous at all to call them national championship contenders, especially with the path they have ahead of them. Here are his stats. That game against Drake really separated him from the other contenders, including his own teammates, and although you could make the argument he hasn't really played a great team just yet, his stats just speak for themselves in my opinion. Coming in at number 3, the 3rd best player in the tournament thus far, that goes to Purdue's Trey Kaufman-Renn. The only reason he's not higher is because they've had probably the easiest competition so far, but Trey has been just big and dominant so far and shows no signs of slowing down. I'm interested to see how far he'll get against Houston's great defense. At 2, give me the Gator, Walter Clayton Jr. Here are his numbers, and I mean, dude has been pulling up from anywhere to start this tournament. He's just such a pure scorer anywhere on the court, and he's been the number 1 option to go to on offense out of anyone this tournament. And even though he was a little shaky in the first half of that last game, he really found his footing and got his stroke later on, and proves that he can continue to carry this team. Florida was so hard not to pick flat out as champions from the jump, and he's proving that that sentiment is alive and well at the midpoint of March. And at number 1, the best player in the tournament so far, give me Tennessee's Chaz Lanier. Chaz had this incredible offensive explosion against Wofford, proving that Tennessee isn't just all defense, and then he went out 2 days later and shot 80% from 3 to propel the Volunteers to this point. Listen carefully to what I said about him before the tournament in my last tournament. That being said, their offense is average for a team of their caliber. Their success will come down to if Chaz Lanier can keep the offense rolling later in the tournament. Yeah, I was right. If Chaz can keep this insane production up, they are en route for a Final Four appearance without question. Now that we've broken down the top 5 players thus far in the tournament, let's take a look at these matchups and make our picks, starting in the South. Auburn versus Michigan is weird because Auburn is heavily favored, 1 seeds typically dominate 5 seeds, and yet I can't bring myself to pick them. Vlad Golden has been insanely good. Michigan has dominated all tournament except for the second half against UCSD, and meanwhile Auburn has looked dull. Creighton had them the other night, and I don't know if Auburn could bounce back if they end up going down big to Michigan, and so I'll pick the upset here and take number 5 Michigan. Moving down to Ole Miss versus Michigan State, the Spartans have looked like a mess, and Ole Miss has been absolutely clicking recently. However, I think Michigan State is still the best team Ole Miss has to face thus far, and I think that the New Mexico Lobos were a lot better than people make them out to be, and Michigan State took over in that one, so I'll take Michigan State in this one too. On to the East, Caleb Love has looked incredible this tournament. He looked great the other night, but with Cooper Flagg playing 100% of games now, Duke's not being touched. Duke destroys them en route for the Elite Eight. On to Alabama versus BYU. BYU just had one of the most impressive wins all tournament against Wisconsin, beating the Badgers despite an insane 37-point performance from John Tonje. And meanwhile, Bama let Robert Morris put up 81 points on them. There will be no defense being played in this game, and it all comes down to if Mark Sears can keep up with BYU's onslaught from all over the team. And I think simply because they've had a much harder path here and are more conditioned halfway through the tournament, give me Brigham Young University to keep it rolling with an upset that will definitely see both teams crossing 90 points. Down we go to the West for Florida versus Maryland, and man, I just cannot wait to watch this game. The Crab 5 has been a joy to watch this season. Maryland is one of the best rebounding teams, and that is about it. I just hope they keep it close. Florida wins this one. Arkansas versus Texas Tech is intriguing as well. Both of these teams are so hot right now, and although the Red Raiders have played some lower competition thus far, they've been looking great while doing it. And like I said earlier, 4 dudes have dropped 20 plus points so far in this tournament and could give 30 to anyone anyone on any night, and I just don't see Arkansas keeping up with that. Give me the Red Raiders. And finally, the most interesting division by far, the Midwest. I recommend all of you to watch all of these games because they're about to be insane. Tackling Houston versus Purdue first, Houston has played tougher competition and came close to a loss against Gonzaga, and man, Trey Kaufman, Wren, and Braden Smith have been playing so well. Who could have foreseen this? This is Purdue, and that duo of Braden Smith and Trey Kaufman, Wren have the shooting, they've got the championship experience. Everyone thinks they're upset fodder, but I see a team led by guards rather than bigs for the first time since Jaden Ivey, and I'm choosing to believe in them. Wow, what a smart guy. Anyways, I have absolutely no idea who's going to win this game. I seriously couldn't tell you, but I'll have to take Purdue simply off the basis that I can't see Houston keeping up on offense. LJ Cryer is going to run out at some point. He's had some pretty bad efficiency games this season. Finally, another great matchup, Kentucky versus Tennessee, and I'll admit it, I was completely wrong about Kentucky. They are great. They beat a great Illinois team very comfortably, and Tennessee beat a great UCLA team with just as much comfort. But the kicker is that the Wildcats have already beat Tennessee twice this year, and in both of those matchups, holding Chaz Lanier to just 10 and 15 points respectively. So I think they've got them again here. Give me the Wildcats in a great SEC matchup. These are my official predictions for the Sweet 16, and I might as well finish off the bracket from here. To win the South, give me Michigan over Michigan State. Yes, Tom Izzo is great. Yes, Michigan State is so deep and athletic. But if Michigan could get past Auburn in this tournament, which I think they will, they could have the momentum to pretty much get past anyone else in the South. Then we move on to Florida versus Texas Tech, and if anyone is taking out Florida, it is probably Texas Tech. These guys are insane, but matched up with that Gator defense that can hold them and the offense that is one of a very few that can keep up with them, I think Florida will pull away in this one. Then moving to the East, BYU has had a great run. Igor Demon is insane, and Cooper Flagg and him are going to be great top draft picks next year, but give me Duke to absolutely dominate this game. And then moving on to Kentucky versus Purdue, I think Kentucky just takes this one. Otega Owa has proved himself as one of the best players in college basketball, and I think that he will finally have Purdue's number in this Elite Eight matchup, even though Purdue has had a great run and beat some great teams up to this point. That leaves us with a Final Four of Michigan, Florida, Duke, and Kentucky. And from there, I'm doing what the tournament has been telling us to do, and I'm going chalk picks. Give me Duke and Florida in the national championship. Yes, that's right. This is the third video that I have said Duke and Florida will be the national championship, but I am standing on it. In my original video, I said that Florida would lose in the national championship, and in my second video, I said that Florida would win in the national championship. But now that we're 100% solidified that Cooper Flagg will be there until April, give me Duke to win this game in a great national championship matchup. Anyways, that is how I see the path of all 16 teams ending up with Duke on top. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you agree or flame me for being an idiot. Thank you all for watching. Again, the support has been crazy, and if you haven't already, subscribe. It's free.